In the top stories, Prime Minister Harris offers condolences to Brazil. Minister Phipps clears the air on Filipino nurses and persons experienced living and functioning with a disability. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Can you afford to lose everything? In times of uncertainty, ensure you have the security of Quartz Payment Protection. When you shop with Quartz Ready Finance Gold or Ultimate Plan, if you lose your job after 6 months of making payments, our redundancy coverage ensures that the payment on your account continues for up to 12 months. Don't risk losing everything. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and get the payment protection plan that protects you against redundancy, disability, death, and loss of item due to natural disaster, fire, flood, or theft. Quartz Ready Finance with payment protection. Quartz, bringing value home.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Carla Barrage. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris has reached out to Brazil's president, His Excellency Michel Temer, following Tuesday's fatal crash of a chartered plane carrying Brazilian football team Chapecoense to the biggest match in its history. In a letter dated today, Wednesday, November 30th, Prime Minister Harris said, "I can only imagine the overwhelming feeling of grief that families and friends, and indeed Brazilians in general, are enduring at this difficult time. Please know that we empathize with all of you and pray that fond memories of those who died in the crash, as well as the peace of God which surpasses all understanding, will give added strength, succor, and solace to your already resilient nation." The plane crashed near Medellin, Colombia, killing 71 on board, including at least 20 journalists. There are 6 survivors. Minister of State with responsibility for health, Honorable Wendy Phipps, cleared the air about the recruitment of foreign nurses, which had been a hot topic on social media and talk shows on local radio stations. In an address to the nation, Senator Phipps stated that the nurses recruited had special levels of skill not possessed by our local nurses, which are crucial in modern-day healthcare.
All foreign nurses who have been recruited to work in our federation provide specialist skill sets currently lacking among our local nursing fraternity, especially oncology, hemodialysis, intensive care, and mental health. The recruitment of foreign nurses with specialized skill sets is meant to build capacity among our local nurses and in time have knowledge transfer so that the foreign nurses can be repatriated.
She also noted that foreign recruitment was something done in the past, which in the end proved beneficial to the Federation as the nurses shared information of trending medical science.
It was Nurse Mary Manibog from the Philippines, who is no longer here with us, that assisted greatly in 2012 in the establishment of the hemodialysis unit at JNF, a department that is now ably headed by a local assistant nurse manager. We anticipate similar results with the 2 newly recruited nurses for oncology, the newest department at JNF, for which another local nurse manager will be the head.
Minister Phipps also dismissed claims that the nurses are being paid on a higher pay scale to local nurses.
The salary packages being provided to the nurses recruited from the Philippines thus far, that is 12 out of 17, is in no way out of the ordinary. Every one of these nurses possesses a comprehensive bachelor's degree in nursing, plus postgraduate certification in their area of specialty. As such, they are paid at K33, the normal benchmark for civil servants with a bachelor's degree.
Minister of State with responsibility for health, Honorable Wendy Phipps. An event entitled Walk in My Shoes on Wednesday morning gave volunteers a first-hand look at what it's like to live with a disability. More in this report.
This unique exercise was developed to give able-bodied persons the experience of living and functioning with a disability. Among those participating in the event were parliamentarians the Honourable Eugene Hamilton and the Honourable Conress Maynard. They were blindfolded at the ferry terminal and, led by volunteers, were taken on a brief march through the streets of Basse-Terre. Along the way, a few others joined the procession and were either blindfolded or sat in a wheelchair. The march ended outside government headquarters, where ZIZ News spoke with some of the volunteers about their experience.
It takes a lot of work, a lot of thinking to manage yourself if you're constantly have to be using a wheelchair. So, kudos to those persons who have to do this on a daily basis.
We see them daily and not knowing how difficult it is at times, and they do it without complaining, they do it without murmuring, they do it because they live in it. And I think us as a society in St. Kitts and Nevis, we should be more supportive of them.
Calypsonian Sylvester Socrates Hodge said as a diabetic, he's aware blindness is a possibility, so this event was especially meaningful for him.
To be asked to portray a blind person, it impacted because I'm aware of it, I'm trying what they can do, but I don't live in the shoes of the folks who go through this every day, so there's empathy and understanding as to what to go to a certain point because I've not lived it. But for those who are afflicted by diabetes, they know they would have seen a demonstration and have to do all they can to avoid this and be more kind, more mindful of assisting others who are in that current situation.
Opposition parliamentarian the Honourable Conress Maynard said functioning as a blind person was an eye-opening experience.
Sometimes we sit back and we say that certain persons can do this and they can do that when we have never lived their situation. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about those who are blind or those who are hard of hearing or those with some other disability. Sometimes people have their own situations which poses particular limits on them, and we must learn to appreciate that and appreciate their differences and appreciate what they have to live with.
Minister of Social Services, the Honourable Eugene Hamilton, commended the organisers on hosting the event and making a statement outside government headquarters.
If there is protest, I would like to see the protest done at the seat of power. If there is petition, the petition should be done at the seat of power. So now that we are showcasing the challenges of the blind, it is good to have them finish on the steps of government headquarters. It is a very symbolic gesture to finish here.
The event forms part of the week of activities organized by the Association of Persons Living with Disabilities. The goal is to raise awareness about the daily challenges that persons with disabilities face and encourage discussion on issues that affect them. Jason Davis for ZIZ News.
After the break, police sees another illegal gun, and Health Ministry outlines plans for World AIDS Day. We'll tell you more when we come back. Police have seized another illegal gun while investigating a report of shots fired in the New Road housing early Wednesday morning. According to a police report, while investigating the report of shots fired and conducting a search in the immediate area, the officers found a Colt .22 pistol with 3 rounds of ammunition. The discovery and seizure of this firearm brings to 36 the number of illegal firearms removed from our communities this year. Police removed 21 illegal firearms from our communities in 2015. December 1st is recognized internationally as World AIDS Day, and the Ministry of Health is organizing several activities this week to commemorate the day. National AIDS Program Coordinator Gardenia Distang Richardson said one of the main events is the free testing day at the Ministry of Health parking lot. She said it is important for everyone to know his or her status.
It's always important to know your HIV status, and here's an opportunity for you to get to know your status within 15 to 20 minutes, because we're using the rapid test, which is the finger prick test. It's also an opportunity to be a part of the whole festivities and to talk to other persons and to get education about HIV and STIs and to really put you in a better place. I always say knowledge is power, and knowledge is beautiful.
She said the events continue on Friday with a condom drive at Independence Square.
If you're going to be engaging in sexual activity, you need to either do the tests, know your HIV status, protect yourself one way or the other. And so on Friday, we'll be offering persons the opportunity to come and get tools to protect themselves, which is the knowledge and the actual condoms so that they can use to protect themselves.
Mrs. Distang Richardson is encouraging everyone to wear red in honor of World AIDS Day on Thursday, and if they attend the free testing, they have the opportunity to receive a free gift. World AIDS Day is being observed under the theme Hands Up for Prevention. As part of Spirit Week activities, the George Moody Stewart School hosted a career day on Wednesday. Sheriff Flanders tells us more.
A number of students were seen decked out on Wednesday morning to showcase multicolored outfits depicting a variety of professions as part of their Spirit Week celebrations. ZIZ spoke with Deputy Principal of the George Moody Stewart School, Gillian Archibald, who gave a brief run-through of the activities held during Spirit Week thus far. She also explained that the career day is dubbed Wannabe Wednesday.
For the entire week, the children will dress in different clothing. On Monday, we had Moody Monday, whereas the children could come as, when they get up in the morning, whatever mood they feel like, they come, so dancers. Some came in the pajama for they still felt sleepy. Yesterday was Tacky Tuesday, mix and match colors, like prints and flowers and dots and things like that. And then today is Career Day, because it's called Wannabe Wednesday. So basically it's what the children would like to be when they grow up.
Deputy Principal Archibald also explained what influenced the Spirit Week initiative.
I thought of it because I find a way to boost the children, let them know, because having to move from our location at a short notice, you could see some of the children, they don't feel it. So we want to just incorporate a spirit of school with a little bit of fun and excitement. And we thought we were going to, and I think it is going very, very well, very, very well.
A few students eagerly told the ZIZ about their career aspirations.
A spy working for the fashion police, so I can spy on people to see if they're making bad fashion choices, and if they are, I can help them to make good ones so they can look dazzling.
A pilot, because I want to fly the plane. A fingernail girl.
Spirit Week has been added to the school's calendar as a fundraiser to construct a new building, as teachers and the students are being temporarily housed at the St. Johnson's Community Center. On Throwback Thursday, the students will be wearing costumes or outfits inspired by fashions from the 60s to 80s. The Spirit Week of activities will wrap up with a Freaky Friday, where students will wear colored wigs, face paintings and eccentric outfits, all in efforts to lift the school's spirit and showcase creative and positive energy. Reporting for ZIZ News, I am Shaira Flanders.
Coming up, tourists in Cuba caught up in mourning for Fidel Castro. The details when we come back. International tourists in Cuba are caught up in a grieving nation mourning the pass of the late Fidel Castro. Deborah Lutterbach has more.
It's not quite what they expected when they planned their trip to Cuba. They were seeking sun, sand, and music. Now tourists have found themselves in a nation in grief for the late Fidel Castro. A British couple says it was bad timing.
It's been not very good for us. So
no alcohol.
No. Yeah, because we come on holiday and the main thing we do is we want to party, dance, drink, salsa, and everybody at night time is in the house, so it's not what we expected. We meant to go to Varadero in a couple of days, all inclusive, but now we have to move our hotel forwards so we can drink and do the stuff. We've had to cancel our hotel in Havana, and we'll go back later on after the funeral so that we can see the real Havana.
A couple from Sweden seemed unfazed by the mass outpouring of grief for Castro.
And I guess, I don't know, we have to, it's the way it is.
Yeah.
A nation in mourning as Cubans bid farewell to the man who led the country's leftist revolution, ruled for half a century, and resisted the United States throughout the Cold War.
Coming up, Donald Trump chooses Chinese American for cabinet post. The details when we return.
Hello and welcome to Up Front. I'm Shaira Flanders, and with me in the studio is Carla Astafan, and she is one of the founding members of iFlamboyant, and she's here to tell us a little bit more about the market event that is coming up this weekend. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me tonight.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
iFlamboyant is happening this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It's a show taking place at the Marriott, in the Dominica room, the St. Lucia room, and in the St. Vincent room. You're going to see an explosion of artisans, of artists, of jewelry designers, of you name it. It's just going to be inspiring, and it's your opportunity to get locally handcrafted products for your loved ones and for yourself.
So would you say that's the aim of the show?
Yes, that's the aim of the show. What happened was a group of like-minded individuals came together about 3 years ago. Dale Isaac, myself, Judith Rawlins, who's a fashion designer, and we, talked about having an event because we had been used to attending craft and art shows in the region, in Barbados, in St. Lucia, and other places. And so we wanted to bring that energy to St. Kitts. As a matter of fact, St. Kitts had a similar show, I think, back in 2006, where artisans from throughout the region came here. But we wanted to make it specific to St. Kitts. And we saw that there was a rising need for artisans to showcase their work in a very elegant manner. Hence, we also wanted to make sure to capture St. Kitts. So we came up with the iFlamboyant, flamboyant being the national flower of St. Kitts. Right. Each of us, is an I. So that's how we came up with the name iFlamboyant.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about the items that would be on sale?
Well, on sale this weekend, we will have pottery, we will have jewelry, we'll have cupcakes, designer cupcakes. Cupcakes are making a big thing. Art, the artists from St. Kitts, a range of artists will be showing their work. We'll also have ice cream, homemade ice cream. You remember those ice cream that, don't know if you're too young, but in my day we used to have churned ice cream.
Oh, I've made homemade ice cream.
So we'll have ice cream, we'll have shoes, we'll have other leather goods, Christmas cards, sculpture, and bags, amongst other things. Yeah.
Okay, so quite a number of stuff.
Yeah, quite a number of items will be there. Come with your pockets, laden with the moolah, and get some shopping done. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Well, I'd like to give us a plug. A plug to our sponsors. Our sponsors for this show are TDC, Opus Wines, Ashley Furniture, Carrie Breweries, Bank of Nova Scotia, and actually Opus Wine will be conducting a wine tasting on Saturday afternoon between 3 and 6 o'clock. Okay, this event is taking place this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It is from December 3rd, it's Saturday, December 3rd, and Sunday, December 4th. So you come from church on Sunday, make your way to the Marriott. After you do your market downtown, make your way to the Marriott. You have an opportunity to buy locally handmade products, the whole, as I've mentioned just a while ago. So this is your opportunity. Don't miss it. It's we do this annually around this time. Additionally, this is also an opportunity for buyers. Okay, so people who have shops, who may craftspeople or craft vendors who have shops and would like to, put some special items within their shops. They also have an opportunity. Yes, so we have already invited people from Four Seasons, from Nisbet Plantation, from Otley's, even the Marriott shop, and a host of other shops throughout the Federation. Their buyers will be coming to see what is available so that they can purchase items for their shops. So in this case, they would be purchasing wholesale. So we are looking forward to that. For our shopping public, we would love for people to come out to get their own Christmas gifts, and this is your opportunity for it. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Up Front.
All right. So, folks, come on out. Come out to be illuminated. Come out to be inspired. Come out to shop. Come out to buy at the 3rd annual iFlamboyant show. All of us, all the artists will be there to serve you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All right.
That's it for Up Front. I am Shaira Flanders. Stay tuned. More news is next.
This year, unwrap the season's best with the perfect gift from Quartz. Whether it's thrills and excitement, shiny convenience, or elegant style, we have it all at the best prices and with ready finance too. Unwrap your best gift ever, only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Multiple media outlets are reporting that Donald Trump will name a Chinese-American politician to serve as his Secretary of Transportation. Elaine Chao previously served as the United States Secretary of Labor. CCTV's Jessica Stone has more on the pending appointment.
Elaine Chao is no stranger to politics. She served U.S. President George H.W. Bush as Deputy Secretary of Transportation and President George W. Bush as his Secretary of Labor. 4 years ago, she also campaigned for former Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney. She spoke to CCTV America at that year's Republican National Convention.
I believed in limited government. And I believed in lower taxes. I believed in quality education.
In recent years, Chao has leaned heavily on her Chinese heritage, working with her philanthropist father to build schools in China and to promote educational exchanges between American and Chinese students.
The U.S.-China relations is one of the most important bilateral relationships in the world today.
Like China, the U.S. is poised to make major investments in its infrastructure. Donald Trump has pledged to spend $1 trillion to build new roads, bridges, and airports. As Secretary, Chao would likely play a key role in getting that spending approved by lawmakers. That could put her at odds with her husband, Mitch McConnell. He is the Republican leader in the U.S. Senate and has put other issues well ahead of infrastructure on the Senate priority list. While it is unclear how much of Trump's proposed funding would come from the federal budget, McConnell is a well-known obstacle to increased government spending.
But in choosing Chao to be his chief promoter on infrastructure spending, Trump could get leverage over reluctant Republicans, including McConnell. And infrastructure spending is a key area of agreement between Trump and Democrats in Congress.
The next U.S. Secretary of Transportation may need to work closer, though, with Democrats to address other issues, too, like how and where to deploy commercial drones and how to regulate the use of self-driving cars on U.S. roads. Jessica Stone, Washington.
Up next in sports, we have the results of the primary school's football tournament semifinals, and a golfer is attacked while on the course. Stay tuned. Last year's runners-up in the National Bank Department of Sports Primary School Football Tournament, the Irishtown Primary School, defeated defending champions Beach Allen Primary 2-1 to book a place in the 2016 football finals. A confident Irishtown Primary scored their first goal in the 16th minute with a strike from Kennedy Rodriguez. Shamar Powell of Beach Allen Primary equalized in the 40th minute. After both teams squandered several opportunities, Irishtown Primary's Raheem Joseph netted in the 58th minute to give his team the lead, thus advancing to the finals. Most valuable players were Raheem Joseph of Irishtown Primary and Kamari Fleming of Beach Allen. Meanwhile, an exciting encounter between Tucker Clark Primary and St. Paul's Primary saw the East Bastia outfit advancing to the finals. At the end of regulation, the score was leveled 1-1. The deadlock remained at the end of extra time and had to be settled on penalty kicks. Donald Francis was the lone goal scorer for St. Paul's Primary and Hazan Marshall for Tucker Clark. Tucker Clark then edged St. Paul's Primary 4-3 on penalty kicks. Hazon Marshall, Deshaun Stevens, Edwin Davis, and Zeroni Francis were on target for Tucker Clark, while St. Paul's Primary's Kevron Nolan, Donald Francis, and Akeem Francis netted. Most valuable players were Hazon Marshall of Tucker Clark and Zerick Francis of St. Paul's Primary. Game 1 in the best-of-3 finals will be played on Friday, 2nd December 2016 at 5 p.m. and shall feature Irishtown Primary and Tucker Clark Primary. At 4 p.m., the third and fourth place match between Beach Allen Primary and St. Paul's Primary. A Texas man is in critical condition after being attacked with a golf club while finishing a round at Indian Creek Golf Club in Carrollton, Texas last Friday. Here's more.
According to CBS Dallas, an attack on the Indian Creek Golf Club in Carrollton, Texas this week has left one man with a brain injury and broken ribs. According to witnesses, the suspect, Kevin Keogh Civile, and 3 others broke golf etiquette by hitting fairway shots at another group of 4 on the course. When one of the men, 27-year-old Michael Plumley, threw the ball off the green, witnesses say Civile swung an iron golf club at the back of Plumley's head. Plumley was knocked unconscious and remains hospitalized, while Civile has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines. Recapping the top stories, Prime Minister Harris offers condolences to Brazil. Minister Phipps clears the air on Filipino nurses and persons experience living and functioning with a disability. And that's the end of the ZRZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Barrage. Goodbye.